then, people, welcome everyone to our live program. This is Milad Rasaimanis, of course, the Central Committee of ExMuslim in Scandinavia spokesperson. Most probably you guys know me already. Today we have very special guests. I'm going to have an interview with one of the well-known ex-Muslim LGBTQ activists currently living in Germany. Mohamed Hisham is my guest today. It's my honor and my pleasure to have him in this program. I'm going to have an interview, ask some questions, and hopefully Hisham going to share his experience and the thing that happened in his life with us. To all the audiences watching the program live at the moment, please bear in mind the program is live, so feel free to put comment, express yourself, ask question, the good questions, actually related questions. I'm gonna share it with Hisham, and hopefully Hisham would answer your question. So it's a live program, guys. Feel free to participate, put comments, and ask questions. All right, Hisham, first of all, hi there, and thank you for being here. It's my pleasure to have you in this program.
The honor is mine. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, actually. Basically, I was just watching like the another program that you had previous time, and I was just so interested and fascinated by the thing that you said. And I know that you actually have been interviewing and like being active in Germany also. So pretty sure there are so many people have seen you before, but it's hopefully it's going to be one of the earliest interviews you're making in English, since the previous basically things you've done is mostly maybe in Arabic or in German. You can correct me if I'm wrong. The first question would be like, introduce yourself to me and the audiences watching the program live and the one gonna watch it later. Who is Mohamed Hisham? Why are you so well known, and why are you such an interesting person to many people in Germany at the moment?
Oh, thank you for the praise. Well, I'm not sure if I'm that interesting, but yeah, I'm from Egypt, and due to suffering under really not nice conditions because of religion and because of the politics of my country, I felt the urge to maybe make a change or to try to push for a change. And for that reason, I appeared on the TV in a program with a sheikh, Imam, and I criticized Islam and I defended people's right in leaving Islam. And that interview, because of their reaction, their hostile reaction, that interview became viral and a lot of people have seen it. And also as a consequence, my life became in danger and I had to leave Egypt as a consequence of that.
Yeah. How old are you, Hisham, if you don't mind asking?
29.
You're 29, Carl. And what I mean, the incident that you just said, the video that
it was
went
in
viral.
early 2018. Maybe I was 27 by then.
Yeah. Right. So almost like 2 years ago it happened. What you said in that video to the Imam that pissed him off so like you pissed that guy off, basically. Like there were so many like angry Muslims would like to kill you or something. What happened? What did you say in the video?
Well, the memory of this video is traumatic for me, so I didn't watch it. Maybe I only watched it one time, so I don't remember everything I said and don't remember all the details. But basically, I was defending ex-Muslim rights, and I was saying it's okay to leave Islam, and it's okay not to have a religion, and that doesn't make you a bad person. And there is no scientific evidence for Islam and or for God existence and so on. And that made them really angry. And I believe one of the reasons they were so angry for is because they are in a way extremists, and it's their job. I mean, it's also politicians' job to protect religion, because they use religion in politics, and that is problematic, and that should stop. and even so, even if somebody an atheist, but he used religion in politics, he might kill for it, and even though he doesn't believe. So because of religion is being used in politics, and because they are, I assume they are really believers, and they feel like being an atheist or leaving Islam would ruin everything and make the world end or so. So they were very hostile toward me as a consequence of their nonsensical beliefs, or their or to protect their jobs or whatever.
Yeah, I see. How was your experience like leaving Egypt and moving to Germany? Can you tell us about your story of how you ended up in Germany?
Yeah. Well, after that interview, it went viral, and then yeah, I've seen a lot of people like debating who should kill me online. I've got physically attacked from my close social circles. I got a lot of threats, and I for time I had to avoid actually more attacks, or to even avoid going to prison or whatever. I had to pretend to be a Muslim, and I had, in a way, to hide until I managed to get out. And for Germany, that was a coincidence. My The goal back then was to go to a place that respect human rights, and it was really not easy, because there is no protocol and process that is designed to help people in this situation. I got help. I got a lot of help, and the help that I got was through money, and money I used to finance my trip. But um, there is nothing. Maybe at this time there was nothing political that could be made, or for instance, an embassy would not give me a visa, or there wasn't, this sort of help did not exist, and I
Yeah.
believe until now it does not exist.
And how was your
um,
how was the reaction of the migration board in Germany? Like, did they really believe you, or they just say like, no,
yeah
Egypt is safe, go back to your countries, or bring more documents at least? How was their reaction?
yeah, the situation in Germany is a little complicated. I believe they believed me, of course. Uh, but there is a lot of political fights in Germany over the situation of refugees, and there is a lot of pressure being done by right-wing people, and if I may say, also right-wing extremists. So in big quantities, a lot of people are being rejected. However, not all. However, like, Germany is a country of law, so so one has the opportunity to defend themselves and to explain the situation better, and for that reason I got accepted. But at beginning it was a negative decision, but later it was a positive decision.
Yeah.
And
Like, I'm gonna be back to this topic, like how I ex-Muslim, how I'm atheist, coming from Islam-stricken countries like Egypt or Iran or like some other countries would actually would like face the difficulties in such countries. The question at the moment is that may be interesting for so many people. Why you actually found yourself atheist? Why you think there is no God? It's a big topic, I know, but if you can just like, I wanna see your point of view first of all, and like if you just like a very short answer.
okay, it's really, I have a cool story for that, so maybe.
Yeah, yeah, go
Of
for it.
course, it starts as if since I was a kid, and I've born in a typical religious house. Religion was very important, and Islam, of course. And for example, I used to go to summer school for memorizing Quran. If you know
Mhm.
Kutab, some sort of Kutab or so.
Yeah.
And um, And so since maybe I was 7 or 6, I used to go to the mosque maybe 3 4 times per day, or something like that. So there was a lot of care for religion, and as a consequence, I cared a lot about religion, and it occupied a big part of my thinking as a child. And when I reached 8, I started to have strong doubts about the validity of religion. All the evidence I've seen is that they say, "Yeah, Muhammad, are you still with me?"
Yes, I'm here
Good.
actually.
Okay, I see only myself, so
I,
I
I
was
just put it on full screen so people can see you and hear you better,
yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
around.
perfect. Yeah,
Don't
thank
worry about
you.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started to have a strong doubts about the validity of the stories that I hear, because it all seems to be based on, yeah, somebody said something and we should just believe them because they don't lie and they don't provide evidence for these things. And I told myself, okay, adult people lie. I see adult people lie. So maybe Muhammad lied to everyone too. And I was in my way to be an atheist, but I was not an atheist. I was agnostic, so I had a strong doubts, but I reached the state to be actually an agnostic. However, I kept the information for myself. I did not share my beliefs with anyone, because or my new beliefs with anyone, because I didn't want to have a punishment from my parents or so. So I kept it to myself, and then one day, and as a consequence of keeping it to myself, I had to carry on all my religious duties. So I go to the mosque on Friday one day, and Friday is like Sunday for Christians. It's really important. And so I went to that prayer, and the Imam was talking about how praying, or if you ask at Allah for something before dawn, then Allah will make this thing happen, will make it true. And I did it. I find it like I thought it's a cool experiment, and maybe I should do it. And then I sleep, and then I wake up right before dawn, and I said, Allah, if you are real, please make Mijian my teacher homework. And I went the next day to school, and I did not find Mijihan. And then later I figured out that she is actually resigned. And then that was enough for me to be back, to go back to Islam. As a child, of course, I was not immune to logical fallacies, and I had naive thinking. Yeah, I mean, a flashback to that. Of course, one could find a logical explanation for it. It could be, yeah, why I didn't want her to go to be there, because I didn't do the homework. Why I didn't do the homework? Because maybe it was hard. Maybe because she wasn't nice to us. Yeah, she wasn't nice because she wanted to resign, or she was going to get fired, or so. Yes, there is always a good explanation. And I spent my teenage years as a strict Muslim, if I may say. um, yeah, and it's really hard to be a strict Muslim, of course, you know that. And it is hard to the extent where you really hate life, and maybe you would. I have started to consider, if I got the opportunity back then to join an Islamic group or something like Qada or so, maybe I would have done that. And at this time in Egypt, I was lucky that I did not get the opportunity, thankfully. But and this time in Egypt, there was that leading current would praise dying in the name of Allah. So when somebody leading Islamic current. So when somebody, for instance, died, blows himself up and died in Israel or whatever, and they say people would cheer for him for that, and they would tell their parents that they should not be sad because he's a hero and now he's in heaven, and now he is their ticket to go to heaven. The
Yeah.
parents' ticket to go to heaven. So it was really sick atmosphere, and
Can I ask you something right over
yeah.
here? I mean, you said it was like a sick environment you were surrounded. Um, why you think, or like, do you believe that religion is bad and hurting for society because it makes people like sick in mind and very like fanatic? So basically they are happy to like commit felonies, kill people, commit crimes against humanity in the name of Allah, in the name of religion or God or whatever. How bad you evaluate religion for the society?
Okay, I believe in I follow science. I follow science. Okay, and if there is no scientific evidence, then I don't go there. Usually, that's what I do. That's how I move myself. With religion, of course, you don't follow, like in most occasion, you really don't follow science. I would like to make a distinction between a religion that is built like Islam. It's inherently a political religion, and I think we all know that.
Mhm.
And it is built around controlling people's lives in certain ways and giving them orders. And maybe these orders were beneficial at some point to serve some purposes, but now it's become toxic and it doesn't work anymore, and it's actually become destructive. And uh, I believe that that is a problem right now. That the biggest problem with Islam is that people are trying to live or to follow rules or laws that were made 1,500 years ago or so, and trying to apply them here, and you end up with something like ISIS. And maybe if you don't apply them too carefully, you end up like Saudi Arabia or maybe Egypt or so. So it's always there is that aspect of destructive aspect, or wrong thing to be done. However, if somebody would like to build a religion surrounded around spirituality, I really don't have a problem with that. Yeah, people could be spiritual. Yeah, it could be nice actually. I don't believe in it, but if somebody believe in it, it is not danger. I don't think it possesses danger for them or for me. But yeah, the problem when they start to have a mindset or a belief that that is toxic or dangerous or criminal by nature, and um, and it just it doesn't that extend to more than religion. It's not only restricted to religion. It's
Mhm.
also if somebody is right extremist, or somebody is, I don't know, in a criminal organization, or
Yeah,
so it's all problematic. However, religion has that more aspect of I don't know, it is deeper. So like a person could be feel committed to follow religion from inside, or the brainwashing happens because the brainwashing happens from childhood. So it's a stronger system than maybe somebody who joined a criminal organization, and then maybe he could just not care so much about the rules of
yeah,
the criminal organization. But with religion, it becomes so deep. And I'm not really comparing religions with a criminal organization, but sometimes there are
makes sense.
similarities.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes
With
there
the-
are.
yeah,
Yeah, there are similarities. And of course in Iran you have that very clear, with the governing system
yeah, yeah,
and how
yeah.
they kill
The thing is,
people.
before I move on to the next questions, I would like to remind to all the audiences this program is live right now. So you can put comments, express yourself, and ask questions. So feel free to put comments no matter like which platform you're using, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Put comments, ask question, express yourself, and I'm gonna show it on the screen. If this question, I'm gonna ask you a question from Hisham. Um, Hisham, you're an LGBTQ activist also. Yeah. Um, what atheism means to an LGBT living in like North Africa and Middle East. I mean, we basically there are some Islamists saying like Islam doesn't have any problem with homosexuality. and like gay people, like LGBT people, can live freely in like Islamic country. On the other side, we see like like a huge number of like LGBTs getting executed only because of their sex like relation or sex orientations. And on the other side, we see some LGBTs that they say like we still Christian or we still Muslim, and there is no problem with the religion and homosexuality. Like church recently has started like accepting gay marriage and stuff. As an LGBT activist, what does atheism means to homosexuals?
Okay. I will start by discussing the role of religion, or maybe I will be clearer. Islam, the role of Islam in that is doing to what I see that is doing to the LGBT community in my country, Egypt. You find that most of them are Muslims. I have to say, most of the gay people that I know from Egypt, for instance, they are Muslims. And how does that affect them? A lot of them think that they are perverts because they believe in Islam, because Islam says that it is forbidden. And so if you think bad of yourself or if you think low of yourself, then how you're actually going to fight for your rights? You're ashamed of yourself. So that's what it does. From inside, it destroys the community through making people feeling that they are wrong or that they are ashamed, or making drives them to go to those crazy therapies, conversion therapies that never really works. And from the outside, it makes the society aggressive toward the LGBT people because it says that it's forbidden, and it doesn't stop at saying that you shouldn't do it. It also extends to that. Yeah, if people around you did that, then you will get harm, and you know that this is at least in Sunnah. I'm not sure about Shia, but if you let fasad or if you let corruption around you, then Allah would
Haram.
punish
Let
you.
haram.
Yeah, if you let the haram around you, then Allah would punish you too for not stopping the haram. So yeah, Corona came to us because we let gay people exist or whatever. You hear some people saying things like that, and that is a punishment of Allah or God to us. So it incite against the community, and it from within the community it weaken it, and it makes it much weaker, and it feed internalized homophobia. Internalized homophobia is when somebody feel like hate being gay or hate loving the same sex, um, because of culture is poisoned their mind for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, so
So
that
can
is
this
the religion. Yeah, I would like to go. Yeah, but I would like to go to
can we
another point.
come to this conclusion that all the LGBT activists, if they're really looking for a world based on equality, that homosexuals are like recognized as a first class citizen in society, they all have to turn atheism. Do you agree with that? Like atheism and homosexuality cannot be separated.
Nine. No. I think there is. I don't agree 100% because Islam is what people make it, and religion what people make it. So there are people who believe in who created some versions of Islam that is LGBT friendly. And it doesn't really have a big problem with LGBT, and they created that, and they have followers. But the problem is that they have almost relatively non-existent followers. They are not mainstream, and I cannot see how they are going to be a mainstream. I cannot just see it. They exist. So if this version of Islam took over the LGBT Muslim, I think it would be good because then they would think it would be better than the status quo. It definitely would be better than the status quo.
Mhm.
And okay, whether being atheist for a person as an LGBT is better, or being a Muslim is better, I'm 100% not sure. Not, of course, like a Muslim with the current understanding of Islam.
Yeah.
That is definitely bad. It's better to be an atheist. But a Muslim with that Islam that is nice to LGBT, that invented Islam, that is not yet mainstream, and maybe it will never be a mainstream, then I think it would be it would have an interesting effect, because you will find these people who are pushing a new version of Islam that might include actually hetero Muslims. So you have a Muslim that think in certain terms, and think that religion say that Islam says 1, 2, 3, and then you have another person that say no, that's not true. Religion, Islam doesn't say 1, 2, 3, it says another things. And then you would be changing the society also, the Islamic society itself. So I think it would be good to have both, to have those people who pushes for a nicer version of Islam that is LGBT friendly and Western friendly and kafir friendly and all of that. And also you would have people who are free from religion and think rationally and making the case against religion generally, and making the case for LGBT rights also in a different way. So either way, it would be good, but it would have a good effect, I believe. Um, but
Yeah, Hisham, I got a question. I got a question from an LGBT activist inside Iran. The question is, can it be said that there is an anti-religious and humanist movement in the Middle East and in countries like Egypt and Iran, in which homosexuals and LGBT people are the main activists? What do you see as the characteristic of this movement and struggle? Before you answer this question, guys, please keep your comments short. So basically, it's not gonna cover the whole screen. My face and Hisham's face need to be seen to the audience. So please try to make it short as much as you can. So yeah, Hisham, the floor is yours.
could you rephrase, please?
Basically, he trying to say like there is a movement, there's like a movement of homosexuals and LGBT people in the Middle East. What are the main activities they doing, and what are the main character? I mean, what are the issues they struggling? I mean,
Um,
trying to say like what are the fields, what are the issues you're trying to be focused on, and what are the
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a movement. I'm not sure if a movement is possible in this
Mhm,
climate. It's really dangerous. People could go easily to prison for any. In my country, people could go easily to prison for any sort of expression that might be not in the mainstream. So when somebody go and raise a rainbow flag and call for LGBT rights, then he's gone. Okay, and in Iran he would be killed, I think.
yeah, they execute.
That's certainly. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what movement. There are nicer countries that has a lot of Muslims. Tunisia, I believe, is nicer than Egypt, and maybe Lebanon. And not Lebanon has so many Christians, so maybe it doesn't count. But I mean, I'm, I think the movement would be calling for equality if it existed. It would be calling for equality. It's as simple as that. What the rights that hetero people have should the same-sex couples or homosexual people have also.
Mhm.
And it's as simple as that. And we see a good example of how that got realized in the West. And it is the work is uh, to imagine a world where that can happen, or how that would function, is really easy for us because this world already exists.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question. What is the main issue? What's the like most important situation or like issue an LGBT, an ex-Muslim LGBT activist may have? For example, if you want to like prioritize
Yeah.
the goal you were
For
supposed
now,
to, which one comes first?
Okay, for now, I think it will be the safest and also one of the most important is to work on internalized homophobia, to empower the community from inside. So maybe I'm really also here Egypt centered because maybe there are differences between countries, but I believe it would be really important to fix the community from inside,
Mhm.
and when the community is strong enough, maybe then we would consider to go out to the world. And because so many people, like, it wouldn't be hard to find someone telling you, yeah, one day I will go to the way of Allah and I will stop being gay. Yeah,
Mhm.
that you could find that. It's not hard to find somebody thinking like that, like this, or somebody is like thinking, yeah, whether this therapy work or whether we are really sick or not. Or so there need to be work on that to empower people. And so I think that is a priority, to empower them, to make them feel good about themselves, to make them know that there is nothing wrong with them and the community is at fault here. And when the community is strong enough, then you can just then start to go out to a higher level and ask for maybe legal changes or social acceptance, or but people should first accept themselves.
Yeah.
But
Um, let's talk about the Western countries and the Western policies, and how good you evaluate the policies being followed by the Western countries, European countries, North American, etc., etc. Like I'm living in Sweden, I'm in Stockholm, and like every day, almost every day, I'm hearing that like the Islam and Islamic rules is the culture of people in the Middle East and North Africa. They're saying like um, hijab, for example, or like executing LGBTs is a part of a culture, and then we're supposed to respect the culture, like multiculturalists, and somehow they like how to say lefties, what's so called lefties, support the Islamic movements inside their countries. Like how you evaluate the policy in the West? Do they really help people like you, or they just stand on the side of the
maybe I would
government?
like more of an elaboration on that. So they consider the culture for people to kill other people in the name of religion. These people really exist? Well, I would consider these people are part of the crime. Like they are to blame. Like they are maybe not as criminal as the people who do the crime, but they are like um, um, I would put them in one group. No, it's really problematic. One should not say that it's a culture to hurt others.
But
Shouldn't let.
generally speaking, like Germany, the country that you're living at the moment, has economic and political relationship with country like Saudi Arabia, with country like Iran. Like if Muslim, for example, was in power in Egypt, they would definitely recognize them as the like a dominant like a government in that country. How you evaluate the policy of country like Germany and the rest of Europe and the rest of Europe?
That's really complicated. I'm not
That's
really
really tough question.
100% sure. Well, I'm not sure what they could really do. I think, well, I think it's good to push for a change. Like they could, they of course Western countries have great influence in the Middle East, and they could use this influence to push for changes. Um, Democratic changes, but not just democratic changes, but also cultural changes. So, if a country is being governed, a Middle Eastern country being governed by dictators, and this dictator has a lot of power, and part of their powers is maybe to push for societal changes and to push for legal changes that could increase or could improve the situation of equality in the country and equality between people. And I believe Western people, or not Western governments, could have could influence some of the decisions of these dictators.
Mm.
And I believe they should, if they are not already doing that. And we see in Egypt, for example, when Joe Biden is new and everybody's talking about how much Joe Biden is doing pressure on the Egyptian government in order to free people who got arrested and in order to do some political changes. The situation of ex-Muslims and LGBT maybe is not having so much coverage as other human rights crimes that is made in the Middle East, maybe because the numbers are not enough, and we learned good how to hide. So we learned also how to protect ourselves through hiding.
Yeah.
And that's why maybe our case doesn't seem to be. It is really important, but it is not on the level of importance. But there are costs for this hiding. So many people kill themselves out of depression, for instance. So it is more silent. So many people.
Yeah, I will back to that point. That's a really important point we have to talk about. But first of all, I would like to read this comment. Pesar Rangin Kaman from Iran say, we homosexuals and LGBT people inside Iran also support you and your fight against Islam. I think it's like referring to you, Hisham. Thank you for your comment, Pesar Rangin Kaman.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
the thing is, you're talking about, like, there are so many people, like, atheists, LGBTs, they depress, they may kill themselves, they're silent. Why you think it's important, people like you, to be out, loud, clear, out of closet, and talk about yourself? Say, like, we exist. I'm from Egypt. I'm LGBT activist. I'm atheist, and I don't believe in Islam. I think that makes people more powerful. That makes people to, actually be out of closet and stop being scared of what they
Yeah,
really are. So
definitely.
how important you evaluate the acts that people like you are doing at the moment?
Definitely, people deserves an idols and deserves heroes, and because they don't have representations, and unfortunately, given the pressure that is being exerted on them, they cannot represent themselves. So yeah, it's important that there are others who could say the things that they would like to say but can't. And I believe more and more people should do that. People who have the opportunity to do it. So maybe people who are in the West and safety, and can understand and can see what is happening there. Maybe they have also the duty to speak up and raise awareness the about the human rights violations that happened in the Middle East, and also about and also try to improve the communities there. So not just to say, yeah, there is a problem, but also try to change minds,
Yeah.
minds of people who are being victimized and minds of people who are victimizing them.
Yeah. Last question for this interview. If there's anything you would like to say, please do. My last question would be, what's your message to all the ex-Muslim, LGBTs, and the people watching you?
If you're in the Middle East, stay strong. And I get so many people sometimes connect me and tell me, oh, how I get out of Egypt, how I get out of this place. And I mean, unfortunately, there is not an easy solution for that. Most likely, you will have to excel in your career, and you'll have to try. It's not easy, but you will have to just adapt and try to do your best, and then maybe find a scholarship or find a work out there, and then you will have more freedom. And then when you get this freedom, try to make the place you came from a better place. And I wish them best of luck. And for people who are already free, if you have the opportunity, if you understand what is happening in the Middle East, and if you have the opportunity to make it better, either through raising awareness, or through raising awareness, or through changing minds, then maybe do that. It would be a good thing.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Hisham. I think that's for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting my invitation and like sharing your experiences and answering my question. And also thank you for all of you guys been watching the program live. Sadaf, Pasarangin Kaman, Joe Vine, Ahmad Sheikh, Meno, Atiye, everyone. Thank you very much for your lovely comments and like following and supporting the program somehow. I would like to once again thanks Hisham, and I'm hoping like after this pandemic, this like the whole COVID uh, catastrophic situation we're experiencing at the moment, we can meet each other in like a seminar, or we can just like meet in real world doing something. Thank you very much, and the best wishes for you. Thanks,
Thank
and
you for inviting me.
yeah, thank you, and thank you everyone for watching the program. Thanks.